This is the second quadratic inequality we're going to deal with. So if you remember in the last key skill, we looked at inequalities where you had a quadratic inequality with an x squared less than 0. Now we're going to do a quadratic inequality but bigger than 0. So if you remember, the first step is to factorize. So we're looking for two numbers that multiply together to give plus 21, but add up or sum together to give minus 10. I've already drawn the little table over here. So the factors of 21 are plus 1 times by 21, but that would add up to give us 22. Minus 1 times minus 21, which would be minus 22. 7 times 3, which would be plus 10. Minus 7 times minus 3, which would be what we're looking for with minus 10. Remember, if we look again, we wanted them to multiply for plus 21 and sum up or add together for minus 10. So when we factorize it, the correct solution is minus 7 times minus 3. Don't forget, if you have a minus times a minus, that gives you a plus. So if I start by factorizing this, so now you're going to imagine that there was kind of an equal sign there, and what would be your two solutions? Well, your first solution from this one here would be, you would do x minus 3 is equal to 0, and that would give you your first solution of x is equal to, remember this minus 3 will go over the equal sign and change into plus 3. So it'll be 0 plus 3, which will be 3. Let's put that in purple. So first solution is x equals to 3. We're going to do exactly the same thing here on the second bracket. So we're going to do x minus 7 equals to 0. We're going to move the minus 7 across, and that will change into plus 7. So it'll be x is equal to 7. We're going to use these two solutions or intercepts on the x-axis to draw a rough graph. So let's draw our coordinate axis system. Okay, so my first point here is x equals to 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put a little purple spot so they match up. Now I'm going to put in 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. I need a tiny bit more space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we get another little x there. Now, if we go back to the beginning, we can see it's a plus x squared graph. So it's going to be a smiley face graph. Okay, now we need to shade the region or color the region where it's bigger than 0. That means above the x-axis. So you want to shade the region that is above the x-axis. So if we go back and look at the previous example, we had less than 0 or smaller than 0. So what we did in our graph is we shaded underneath the x-axis. So we shaded this area here because it was underneath. So if it's less than 0, you're shading underneath. However, if it's bigger than 0, you're shading above. So if I take my pen here, I'm going to shade above. That's going to be here and here. Now remember, the purple one is x equals to 3. And the mauve one is x equals to 7. So now I'm going to have two answers because I've shaded in two different places. So if you shade in one place, like this example, you're going to have one answer. You see I've got one answer here. But if you shade in two places, you're going to have two answers. Students always get that mixed up. So my first answer, we'll do this one first, is going to be x is smaller than 3. Because this area is going to refer to all of these going from 3 2, 1, 0 as this graph is getting bigger. So all of the ones to the left of 3. Remember we said before, less than is to the left. So this is the left of 3. So my first answer is going to be x is less than 3. So that corresponds to this section of the graph here. My other answer is going to be all of the ones, so 7, 8, 9. It's going to be to the right of x equals to 7. These answers are going to refer to x is greater than 7. So, quick recap on what we did. We factorized just like the previous example, and we had our 2 solutions. We used that to draw a rough graph here and put in these 2 points. So we got these 2 points, the purple one and the mauve one, from doing the factorization. After that, because it was bigger than 0, we shaded above the x-axis. That gave us 2 different places where we shaded. So we had 2 different answers. We had one to the left of x equals to 3, so x less than 3. And the second one was to the right of 7. So we shaded x bigger than 7. So this one has 2 answers at the end. I hope you found that helpful. Stick around, we're going to be doing another one with quadratic, but slightly more complicated again. Okay, thanks for watching.